Klein.
Here.
Board Member Dean.
Here.
Board Member Storm. Board Member Van Barcom.
Here.
Supervisor Shell.
Yes. Hold on a second. Chan, would you mind going down? On my desk, I left my phone. The letter is on there. Yeah, it's on my desk. Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the previous town board meeting minutes.
Make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Supervisor report, July 2020 revenues. Zoning fees, $100. Time Warner franchise fee, $17,585.32. Medical insurance reimbursement, $607.57. Ambulance fees, $12,245.23.
Sorry.
Town clerk fees, Easy Pass conservation, $100. Central printing mail, $254.53. Justice fees, $7,212. Building permit fees, $7,241. Dog licenses, $18.50. Rental of real property, doctor office towers, $4,402.19. Police fees, $45. Grant engineering, $10,098.75. Miscellaneous revenue, classified revenue, $4,327.56. Registrar, $10. Refuse and recycle revenue, $224.80. Ulster County mortgage tax, $45,046.64. Interest and penalties, $23,509.31. Highway revenue, $24,548. Higley settlement, $86.88. Niner capital, $2,431.05. Shandaken senior lunch program, $2,500. Ulster County sales tax revenue, $29,418.49. Forfeitures of crimes restricted, $4,106.70. Sale of cemetery lots, $185. Ambulance donations, $550. Pine Hill water rents, $13,000. Phoenicia water rents, $10,000. New York State AWWA reimbursement, $395. Phoenicia water miscellaneous revenue, $2,446.36. Phoenicia water medical insurance reimbursement, $4,868.34 for a total of $227,564.24. Communications, month of August 2020, COVID-19, we have slowly been working toward reopening of Town Hall. As of tonight, Town Hall offices are back open with protective measures in place following CDC guidelines to protect our staff and the public. We still would request that if you need to visit the office, do your best to schedule an appointment with the appropriate department. Masks will be required and we have hand sanitizer stations. Regarding public meetings, public are invited to attend town board meetings while maintaining distance and wearing masks. We will limit access to the back half of the room while officials are invited to stay toward the front of the room in order to present information. Regarding planning and zoning board meetings, we have recommended that specific applications will be given a scheduled time slot and anyone with interest in a particular application may attend, but again, we ask that you do your best to utilize the TV broadcast, YouTube channel postings, and in the case of public hearings, do your best to write an email or letter to the respective board. Summer recreation, Manny and Becca have been working diligently to keep the kids safe and things have been working out well so far. The kids enjoyed the outing to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown last week. Sadly, it is not looking good for Great Escape to be open for a proposed trip next week. We are instead looking to change that trip to simply a visit to Lake George Village, where the kids and chaperones will be free to visit the $1 Million Beach, the steamboats, Fort William Henry, or simply walk around the village. We wish we could find something more, but we are still trying to do our best to provide protections while providing them an outlet before school starts in whatever capacity that may be. Resolutions. We have resolutions to appoint board members to the planning and zoning boards. Both boards need to be made whole, and especially the ZBA, which following the loss of Keith Johnson was down to 3 members out of 5. These folks were the only applicants months ago, and as we start to get back to public business, we need all available personnel. Deputy Supervisor Vin Blarkman and I toured the town parks last week and started marking out locations for some playground equipment we have in storage. So we hope to install these items shortly. It has also been noted that many of the park picnic benches have fallen into disrepair or have literally disintegrated. We are seeking bids for 10 8-foot-long all-weather picnic benches to place around the different parks. For information regarding specs, please contact my office via email or phone at shandakensupervisor@yahoo.com or 688-7165. Police and Justice. New York State is requiring that each municipality with a police department create a committee to review our police and justice court policies and procedures in order to allow us to apply for future grant opportunities, which we do regularly. We will be looking for a few residents to take part in this committee and report back any findings or issues that they feel need to be addressed or revised. Police Chief Story will provide more information during his departmental report. And lastly, Shandaken Day. Sadly, we will have to cancel Shandaken Day this year. As with the current situation, we don't see a way to host the event and maintain CDC and state guidelines comfortably. This does not mean we are discontinuing the event, only postponing for this year. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for Monday, September 14th, because the 7th is Labor Day at 7 p.m. Thank you. Teresa?
So the museum in Pine Hill is open on their regular schedule, and they're following CDC regulations and precautions. Saturday, August 8th is the Big Indian Alvarita Barbecue, takeout only, 3 to 6 p.m. And the Rotary Duck Race is on for Sunday, August 23rd at 1:30 p.m. And if you haven't already signed up for our alerts, please go to shandaken.us/alerts. And we will be switching over our website. We'll still have the shandaken.us, but we're going to also have shandaken.com. Because many emails get lost in the sauce because when you tell folks, oh, it's town clerk at shandaken.us.com, no, US, no, yes, US. So we're going to have both, and it's going to be redirected. So eventually, if you want to, we can always go over to like the rest of the world and do shandaken.com. And there's no other Shandaken anywhere. And it's free.
Shocking.
I know. It's so cool. We don't even have to put Shandaken, New York.com. So
I would think it was a common phrase.
we're working on that, so it's kind of cool. All right, and that's it.
Thank you. With that, we'll move on to committee reports. Ambulance.
Sure. July ambulance update. The past 5 months have been the most difficult time to be a first responder in the history of what we do. It's not necessarily even mitigating the calls. After all, the balance of the calls the ambulance has been handling, with very few exceptions up until late, have been general illness and medical calls at a lower volume. It's more so the emotional and psychological toll that all the first responders worldwide have been dealing with, to the point that when Ulster County 911 advises units during their dispatch that respiratory precautions are advised, a code for patient meeting COVID-19 criteria, you cannot be sure if this call will be the one that brings a deadly virus back to your loved ones. Some of our employees have not seen their particularly at-risk loved ones just because of that, and some have been lost during that time as well. Our lives as first responders and all healthcare in general have changed forever. We must take great care to assure the continuity of our services for those that count on us the most. Remarkably, the town of Shandaken ambulance has had 0 employees contract the virus, and only a handful that needed quarantine secondary to exposure despite treating COVID-positive patients. Much of this can be attributed to early training and continuing education regarding the virus and proper personal protective equipment, which can be attributed to our equipment manager, the Ulster County Department of Emergency Services, and continued support from the town. We have been incredibly lucky. Despite our luck, it is our duty to continually assure safety for all employees and citizens alike. As many of our employees, including our chief officers, work elsewhere in emergency services aside from the town of Shandaken, we have enacted extremely strict criteria for public interaction and social distancing while on and off the job. One of those criteria is that employees are to avoid large groups whenever possible, hence why we have not been attending town board meetings the way you may have been used to. Please be assured that this is more for the safety of the public and more so our vulnerable populations, particularly those over the age of 65 or with chronic underlying medical problems. Please be careful out there. Wear a mask, practice social distancing, periodically monitor your temperature, and if you become symptomatic, assure that you get tested as well as quarantine appropriately. Please do not hesitate to seek medical attention if you are sick or injured. We have had a few cases where individuals became much worse off by not going to the hospital as a result of being afraid of contracting COVID-19. Hopefully numbers still trend down and that some semblance of normalcy can once again return. Until then, stay vigilant, help stop the spread. Stay safe out there. Richard Muller-Liley, Chief of Department. For the month of March, total calls received was 31, mutual aid received was 1, mutual aid given 0. For the month of April, 22 calls received, mutual aid received 0, mutual aid given 1. For the month of May, 21 calls received, mutual aid received 0, mutual aid given 1. For the month of June, 23 calls received, mutual aid received 1, mutual aid given 1. And for the month of July, 35 total calls received, mutual aid received 0, mutual aid given 0.
Thank you. Following that, I'd like to turn it over to Howie, who has to present an update regarding the review of the fees for building permits, correct?
I'm still waiting for the planning board. We're going to have the next meeting, we're going to dedicate time to go over that. And then after converting with them, I'll bring it to the town board.
Okay.
So, we've been trying to do it, but the next
Yep,
meeting-
no, go through procedure, that's fine.
So, the monthly report for July issued 27 building permits, and so far since January 1st, we've given out 71 building permits. And as of this time in 2019, we had issued 66. So the building department is still maintaining a pretty busy schedule. Demolition permits, 2 of them were issued for buildings that are going to be taken down. And 3 floodplain permits have come up. I did, for the month, 36 inspections, job site inspections. Issued 3 certificates of occupancy, 12 certificates of compliance, and sent out 2 letters of violation for the month. And the monthly total for income was $3,253.
Thank you. With that, we'll move on to police, and before I turn it over to Chief Story, I just wanted to read, so we had a local vigil, July 26th, I think was the date, it was Sunday. And we just received a letter a couple days after. I'd just like to read the letter. As the organizers of the Black Lives Matter Solidarity Peace Vigil held on July 26th at Phoenicia Park, we would like to thank the Town of Shandaken personnel for helping make this event harmonious and successful. Support of the town board and Supervisor Rob Stanley were essential in securing us an ideal location and providing access to the field. Police Chief Chad Story and other officers maintained a low-key, reliable presence, promoting public safety and showing that despite the outrages that have sparked the ongoing protest movement, there are good cops in this nation, especially in our community. At the event, performers of various races shared music and inspirational words, drawing together an earnest crowd. We estimate over 200 people. Even the counter demonstrators were respectful in their brief appearance with an American flag in the middle of the field. We live in a vibrant, caring community. We hope our unity will be enriched by increasing sensitivity to issues of race and by giving people of color a stronger voice. In gratitude, Violet Snow, Sparrow, Marianne De Palma, Bushiel, Klaus Bushiel, Anna Silva, James Cobb, Daphne DeJesus, and Kathy Nolan. So I just wanted to read that. With that, I'll turn it over to Chad. Again, it was a well-attended event, it was peaceful, everybody was respectful on both sides, and that's all we were thankful for. Again, it's a public place, and as long as everybody stays peaceful and respects each other, we can each have our say. So with that, I'll turn it over to Chief Story for his report.
So we handled 238 calls for service for the month of July. And just touching on what Rob said about the police and justice reform, the governor signed an executive order. It's vague at best, but basically it says that we need, as a community that has its own municipal police department, we need to form a committee of people that we serve within our community to apparently review policy. It doesn't appear there's anything binding to this executive order, but the requirements are we need to form a committee, we need to meet and discuss the needs of the community that we serve as a police department, and apparently as the justice court too, which I wasn't aware of. And also, in order for us to take any state funding, and I apply for grants all the time, if we don't do this, then we're not going to be eligible for any state funding or state grants. So it's a requirement that we have to do, it's a must, and if nothing more, it's good feedback for me and how I run my department and my agency. So I look forward to it, and you know, we kicked around a couple ideas on how we're going to select the committee. You want to go over that real quick, Rob?
Yeah, I can address it. It's essentially it's going to be the chief story. Kevin, who is the liaison to the police department. We have one of the commissioners, Jim McGrath, who will be involved. Wendy Lockwood from the Justice Court would be involved. That's really from the town side. Everybody else is really open. We're just asking for community member input from across the community. Again, we don't want to be too heavy in one community or the other, so we kind of want to spread it around town, and have already received some interest from other people throughout the town. But if you are interested, contact my office, again, via email, give us a call, contact one of the town board members so they can pass it along, and then we can figure out where we go from there. It really shouldn't be, it's probably a couple of meetings that it would entail, just reviewing current policy. If there's any advisement to possibly revise something or update it, we can look at it. But it shouldn't take much more than maybe a couple of weeks, or maybe 2 or 3 months. If there's 3, 4, 5 meetings at best. I don't see it being a very lengthy process. But if you're interested, please contact us. So.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
You want to write something up, Jan, I'll post it.
We're just looking for numbers, just
Yeah.
Just members of the meeting,
90% of the town doesn't.
members of the community that are looking
Yeah.
for interest in police and justice reform.
Okay.
So, with that, we'll move on to Phoenicia Warner. Mr. Rick, what do you got?
We had a few problems that we solved. We had a leak down the pump house, where from the filtration plant to the pump house, the clear well, the gasket was leaking in the conduit from there down to the pump house. And we had that fixed this past weekend. And we had a galvanized pipe drill across from the Phoenician. We had to dig that up, and luckily, when we dug it up, the line went under steps, concrete steps. We didn't have to take them out, which was a miracle. We went in and he pulled the thing through, and so we fixed that. Let me see. That, knock wood, that's been the only problems we've had since March. So we're using about 65,000 gallons of water a day, which is wonderful compared to when I had those leaks as much as 200,000 gallons. So it's really turned around. It's been busy. Every house is full. The motels are full. It's unbelievable. So we're using water, and hopefully we're gonna get 5-6 inches of rain tomorrow night, which will really help us out, you know? But otherwise, it's,
Yeah, not all at once.
well, within an 8-10 hour, we got some,
It's pretty dry.
it's been very dry, and we can handle it.
But we're still asking people to do their best to try to conserve water. Again, it's been pretty dry.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I did notice, someone was filling their swimming pool, and after June, they cannot fill it, but if I go there, I'm the bad guy, and, you know, you can't say anything to
That's
me.
why you get paid the big bucks, right?
Yeah. But in any event, no filling swimming pools after June 1st. But otherwise, we've done very well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Pine Hill Water, nothing to report. Museum, there's nobody here to report, but I just like to extend our gratitude out to Kathleen Myers, the director of the museum. She has been posting regularly stuff on social media regarding the history of the town of Shandaken, which has gone over fairly well with a lot of the public. And it's interesting to see some of these photos and artifacts that we've got up there. And again, if you're looking for something where you can socially distance, the museum is open on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you're more than welcome to go visit and look at stuff. I mean, there's books in there from decades and centuries ago regarding your hamlet or possibly your own home. If you just purchased up here, maybe you want to go do some research, go and look and see what was around your place. It's really interesting stuff. So, recreation, as I said, summer rec is going off. We're trying to work on getting some new equipment that we have in storage into the parks. Hopefully we can get that done before the end of the summer.
Looking
We
for
do have-
volunteers,
Yeah, we're always looking for volunteers to help, so if,
particularly with the dog park, needs a lot of work. So if you frequent the dog park in town, we need some work on the fence post, the shed's falling over. So there is a sign that you've seen. If you go there, contact Joyce at Town Hall. And we're trying to put some project together to get the park equipment in.
aside from that, we have received, you know, if you want to consider it recreation, yeah, we have received complaints of parking issues periodically on some of the swimming holes around. They're fairly well contained compared to some of the other larger, more populous areas. Catskill Clove comes to mind, the Blue Hole. We haven't had major issues, they've been minor issues, but we are slowly addressing them. We will be looking at adding some no parking areas, no parking signs to certain areas of roads where we don't feel it's safe enough for people to park on the sides of the roads, and especially for swimming hole access, where actually the access point is through someone's private property. That just is not cool for it. So 214 is a difficult situation because it's state, it's DOT, it's a DOT right away. We haven't had a lot of garbage. It's just people hanging out there.
No, there was a lot of garbage there at one
Well, we haven't had anything to pick up, maybe a bag.
150 bags.
We've had it at Herdman, Chattanooga Drive,
Talking about Catterskill.
Catterskill, up in
Yeah.
No,
Catterskill.
I'm talking 214 above Naps.
150 bags of garbage?
That's right.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's
Did not happen. You can tell me it didn't happen, Rick. I'm just telling you it
Last
didn't
week,
happen.
there was one big bag, and I called DOT and they picked it up. And mine went down.
150
put
bags.
cars
all
down.
over the place.
I won't go down because of that.
And you talk about the blue hole, the blue hole
Put a
is
sign there.
been taken care of. The
Yeah, that's not true.
No,
That's not true.
Yeah.
DEC's been up there, I talked to the state.
There were 700 people up there the other day.
Really? See, last year they snuffed it right out.
Yeah, no, they implemented a stewardship program up there, and apparently, it just,
There's been problems there all weekend.
it hasn't been,
Because they got the boom boxes.
they're getting overwhelmed. That's what's happening.
It's unbelievable.
It's overwhelming. And now, especially with this drought situation, people are really converging on the deeper holes.
Yeah.
so they're not spread out amongst the street.
And I bet you if they tested the water, half of it is 50% urine.
Thank you, Mr. Riccadella. Okay, with that,
Hey, Rick, Jackie says your mask is on crooked. Jackie just told me.
with that, we'll move on to public comments and resolutions. There's no public comments?
Public comment.
Public comments on resolutions.
You do this to me all the time, Rob.
Yeah, I do all the time. Isn't it amazing? Like, we follow the agenda every month. It's so amazing. It's crazy. There's no motions, we'll move on to resolutions. You get to speak in a moment, Dave.
Resolution 7620, resolution to pay all bills, whereas the Department of Audit and Control require town boards to sign and inspect all vouchers coming to town for payment, to number and total amounts from each fund. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board authorize the following vouchers paid: from general, $93,061.92; from highway, $176,783.64; Phoenicia Water, $8,719.42; Pine Hill Water, $178.55; Phoenicia Lights, $882.55; Chichester Lights, $142.62; Pine Hill Lights, $1,097.29, for a grand total of $280,865.99, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Discofani?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Barcom?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes. Just to follow up on that with all the light discussion, our contract was approved with NYSEG.
Okay.
So they're supposed to start replacing all the street lights throughout the town starting sometime in September. So when you see the work crews out there, they're going to be replacing the fixtures as well as the bulbs. And that should bring us considerable cost savings over the future.
Resolution 7720, zoning board of appeals members. Whereas under section 20 of town law, the town board shall designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that the following personnel be appointed to the Shandaken zoning board of appeals at no compensation: Henry Williams, appointed to vacant seat expiring December 31st, 2020, and Elizabeth Nissel, appointed to the vacant seat, expires December 31st, 2021, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Discofani?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Barcom?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes. Resolution 7820, planning board member, whereas under section 20 of the town law, the town board shall designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that the following personnel be appointed to the Shandaken planning board at no compensation: Vivian Welton, appointed to vacant seat, which expires on 12/31, that's 2020, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Discofani?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Barcom?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes.
Resolution number 7920, advertise for park picnic tables. Whereas the town of Shandaken parks are in need of replacing 10 8-foot-long all-weather picnic tables for our various parks. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Shandaken hereby advertise for 10 8-foot-long all-weather picnic tables and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Discofani?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Barcom?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes, what should be added to that is that it should be a sealed bid that we're going to open up at the next board meeting.
You want that in Freeman or on social media?
A little free. It's fine. Social media is great.
Well, I'm going to open that.
And that's it. So with that, we're on to Rick's favorite segment, open public comment. Mr. Riccadella,
I
yes.
got a lot of them,
I'm sure you do.
the first one, on Plank Road, Old 28. I was riding down there about a month ago, there's a tree laying right across the road, almost hit it. We had 3 trees down in that span of about 3 months. And I have mentioned, I don't know how many times in here, we have to get these trees cut. Now, I understand you have a picker now, right? Bucket truck. I know it's a county road, but you work it, but something has to be done. Now, what are you doing, Rob?
I'm listening to your conversation, and I know where this is
Now,
going.
if you go down just before where they hike, the parking area, there are trees that are hanging over onto these lines. I don't know who these lines are, but someone should call, I don't know whether it's rectum, I call it rectum instead of spectrum. You call the DOT, call Verizon, AT&T, I don't care who you call, but that has to come down. Did you see it lately?
Yeah, we've seen it. Those trees are trimmed. They've been trimmed.
The one that's laying on the wires, we called Verizon and they were adamant that they only care about the integrity of the poles, not the wires.
Really?
And it's NICEAG. It's NICEAG that's gonna maintain that, and as long as the cable is holding and they've trimmed, there's really nothing more for them to do.
I want everybody to go look at that, because you can touch the wires. Something has to be done there, and now nobody's doing it. Now also, when we had this so big pandemic here since March, the gas station was $2.69 steady. When you went to Hunter, the same station was $1.99. The one in Wyndham was $1.97. Now, did anybody call Verona Oil and find out why?
No.
Okay. There's something we could look into. I think it would be important. Let me see, what, I had numerous, I didn't write them down.
I mean, what do you got? Oh, you got stuff stored up for March? Is that what you're going on?
Well,
So what are you accusing them of? You're accusing them of price gouging
yeah.
in
Well, what do you
March?
think?
That's why I drive the voice.
March, April, May. Come on.
Okay.
Somebody should be calling them to find out why.
Well, this is the first you're making a comment about it.
Well, I haven't
but
been here, you can't come with the pandemic, you
There's
can't
this
get out.
wonderful
Pretty
device
soon-
that Mr. Bell created years ago called a telephone.
Yeah, pretty soon, if you want to go from one county to the next, they're going to have a fence. Where are your papers? There will be no
jeez.
escape from this camp.
Here we go.
That's the next step.
All right, what do you got next, Rick? What's next on the list?
You got me so angry, I forgot a lot of them.
Now you're all worked up. Okay, we'll go to Chuck and let you recuperate your thoughts for a
Is,
minute.
with the picnic tables, I
Yes.
don't want to take work away from any local person, but is there any opportunity to enlist the jail prisoners to build?
They,
Oh, no,
their work crew shut down.
Okay.
yeah, they're letting them out. They're good
Just a
boys.
thought.
They're good boys.
Non-existent.
Any other open public comments?
Oh,
No.
terrible.
I could write it down.
Yeah, I know, I'm busy. I've been Kingston all day, you can bring,
Make a
What
motion.
about your street?
Well, I just wanted to mention something. If you're not, Rick, please.
wait a minute, Chuck got something to say.
No, he's good. But I just wanted to mention something, if you're aware or not, but we had a local youth who was injured in a boating accident over the weekend, and I just want to ask everybody to give their prayers and thoughts to the family. He got banged up pretty bad, and we hope he recovers safely and everything's well with the family. So that would be Lane Harwell, was injured pretty seriously over the weekend. So with that, before we close, I would like to adjourn the meeting in memory of Dorothy Dot Gady, Rebecca Lane, and Alexander P. Viola. Motion to adjourn?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Thank
Right.
you. It's that time. Oh, you guys
Orange? Sorry.
Are you gonna be up there Sunday?
Bob will come then, I guess.
It's light chestnut.
It's like chestnut. That's the stain I want.